Hey, welcome to another Retro Rocha, The Moment, with me, comedian Jerry Rocha. In this show, I'm going to talk about a moment in video gaming that blew my mind so much that I've ridden off into the sunset with video games ever since. Just like that little kid rode off into the sunset with Madonna after her stripper shift ended in the Open Your Heart video. And today, the moment is from the NES classic Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, baby, the great Ninja Gaiden. And the moment isn't even the difficulty, and it probably should be. The enemies are unforgiving. You have to get every jump just right. They even ripped some poor bastard out of Tecmo Bowl to come in and try to kill you. The game was hard. You flexed if you got halfway through a level. I killed my first attack dog, just one, and I was walking around quoting Run DMC. I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MC should call me sire. Back in the day, getting good at this game was like an unwritten rite of passage for kids my age. It was don't get molested, try to get really good at Ninja Gaiden. I would play the game thinking, if I can get really good at this, then maybe the girl I have a crush on will like me. And then I'd panic. But what if someone else is getting even better at it and she likes him instead? Never once did I realize that being able to execute flawless parkour with a samurai sword in a video game will impress nobody. In fact, I don't think being able to execute flawless parkour on the streets with a samurai sword in real life would ever get you laid. But sadly, that's how most men think dating works well into their 40s. But for me, the moment of this game was the first in-game cutscene you saw. Now, there was a really great cutscene that opens the game when you first boot up the cartridge, but as great as it was, a duel, a son searching for answers and revenge for his fallen father. Most games, even back then, had some little scene they'd show you before you press play. So only because that kind of stuff was commonplace, that opening scene didn't get the nod. I mean, Tetris had that opening scene where you see the square have to watch his family get murdered right before its eyes, and then it swears vengeance on all the other shapes. Super Mario Bros. 3 has that opening scene where Mario tries to convince Peach to get an abortion and offers to do the abortion himself as Dr. Mario. So the reason I picked the first in-game cutscene instead of the opening is because of that reason. It happened in-game. Before that, the only in-game cutscenes I remember in a video game that had anything to do with any kind of fleshing out of a story was the ones in Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man. And as dope as they were, they didn't come anywhere close to this one. That cutscene was such a surprise. I was just playing through the first level, or act as they call it in the game, and I was just in awe of how great it was. You have Ryu, this badass ninja, running around the streets with a samurai sword, and he could do magic? This checked off so many nerd wish list boxes. Dude, if this guy can transform into a giant 18-wheeler, and I was also still high on the rush from beating the first boss, this massive oaf in an empty bar swinging a massive sword. By the way, imagine how brutal someone's home life must have been to just stay in the bar and keep drinking once that guy showed up. I'll take my chances. Hit me again. Anyway, I beat the first boss, and all I'm thinking is, I really hope my life bar fills up before the next... And then... a cutscene? You see Ryu standing there victorious, then he hears a noise, and then boom! Some woman who looks like Rachel from Blade Runner walks in and straight up shoots him. Just hit me again. I was glued to the screen, slack-jawed. I was like Maria Conchita Alonso in Predator 2. What the fuck is going on, man? Then it just cuts to Act 2. As a kid, that blew my mind. Again, they weren't separated into levels, but acts, letting you know they were going for a very cinematic feel for this game. But I was stunned. I was like, is that it? Is Ryu dead? Is there some other sibling who's gonna take up the mantle and get double revenge? Is Jerry Reed gonna replace him as the title character like he did in Smokey and the Bandit 3? Then the scene continues. Turns out Ryu was okay. She just shot him with a tranquilizer and then put him in a prison cell and then busts him out of the prison cell and then gives him this thing that looks like a metalhead's keychain and sends him on his way. What did any of this mean? I was like, I don't care how hard the game is. I have to see this through. I'm hooked now. I loved the music in the cutscene. I also thought there's no way graphics in video games are gonna look any better than this right now. And you know what? I'm still not 100% convinced that they have gotten better. It didn't last long, but every bit of that cutscene has stayed with me since I first saw it. It created this fantastic blend of, I went from playing a video game to watching a movie. to playing the video game again. How's that even a possibility? Ninja Gaiden is a great game that tells a great story. The entire experience still holds up to this day, but nothing gives me goosebumps like watching that first cutscene. Even now, it's still awesome. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I think because of moments like that, video games can enhance the art of storytelling. As much as I love Apocalypse Now, imagine if when I saw the movie, after every 3 minutes, I just screamed in frustration, "Oh, come on, bullshit! I made that jump!" Thank you for watching another Retro Rocha, The Moment, with me, comedian Jerry Rocha. Please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, click that bell so you're notified every time a video comes out, all that good shit. Is there a game you want me to talk about? Email me, rocha@retrorocha.com. Have a great rest of the week, and see you soon. I'll hold the lock and you hold that fucked up statue looking thing.